Welcome. This is Lochnagar, and we are heading out to not only climb Lochnagar but to complete the White Mounth circuit. It's the 30th of April 2011, the day after the royal wedding of Prince William and Kate, and there's still snow on the hills there, but it was lovely and warm. So this is the corrie of Lochnagar, with the Lochan that is Lochnagar sitting proudly at the bottom of it. That's my companion for the day, Peter, getting into a cup of coffee. And if we look back here, the path forked just along there, and you could have went up to that hill which is called Meikle Pap for a better view. But as we were doing the all five, we decided against it. So this is looking over the side of the corrie over to some of the cornice, and the summit's up there somewhere. Still holding quite a lot of snow for late April, almost May, and I wouldn't like to step on that stuff, that's for sure. So we're gaining a lot of height now. We're about level with the little hill where the path forked, which is called Meikle Bin. That's it there. This is a panoramic view which shows what an absolutely beautiful day we had up in the hills that day. We just couldn't want for anything better, apart from maybe it was a bit windy. So that's why this has got a voiceover. So another panoramic, this time of the cliffs of the corrie, that is Lochnagar. And the Lochnagar looking down below. The distant hills still holding snow too, but perfect day for a hill walk. We weren't alone in that. So I've now drawn level with the rim of the corrie, so it's not that far to get to the top, but the views start opening up when you're at this height, and it's typical Cairngorms, big lumps, lots of rounded rocks. Over that way, I do believe we can see the tors of Ben Avon, which is right there. So lots of snow. In fact, this is the cornice that we saw from down below. No way was it going on there. I do believe this bit's called the Spout, but I may be wrong in that. And there's the summit ahead. It was that windy that day that even just trying to walk across there was hard. I'm going to leave the wind noise in so you can see how windy it actually is. So I think that'll do for the wind noise, but you can tell by the poor standard of video panning here that we were getting blown shitless about on this plateau. Extremely windy, but definitely worth it. What a view. I think we'll need to go back to Lochnagar on a better day and just soak it up, not bother with the other four. So we've reached the stone marker that points out all the munros of interest round about with their respective heights. Quite an interesting feature. That's looking back down to Meikle Bin, and then up the climb up the corrie, the walk along the rim of the corrie, the other corries to the other side, and that's the trig point. So we didn't hang about at the summit of Lochnagar for too long due to the extreme wind. So this is one of those other corries that we saw, and that's Lochnan Ewan. E-U-N. Looking back up now, we see the summit of Lochnagar sitting proudly at 1155 metres or 3,786 feet, which makes it the 21st highest. This is some old aircraft wreckage. I do believe it's a Shackleton that crashed into this hill many years ago. Being keen aviation photographers, Peter and I were really interested in finding the old wreckage, which is t-Sagairt 1047 metres. We're looking back there at number 2 and number 1 Lochnagar way in the distance. It's a nice little panoramic here. Number 2 was kind of featureless, we didn't take any video at the top of him at all, but he's called Carn a Corrie Bodiach, and he's 1118 metres. So that's the rounded chap there is Munro 2 and the pointed chap behind him. So now we're on Munro number 4 of the day, Cairn Bannock, 1012 metres. So we're going down in size all the time. So there's looking back to number 3, who's 1047 metres. Then we're going to pan round right and we're going to see number 2 with number 1 Lochnagar sitting pointedly behind him. So well on to the walk now, and one more Munro to go. So that final Munro is called Broad Cairn. He is 998 metres tall, and this is a panoramic taken from Broad Cairn. As you can see, we've walked all the way around there. Pretty steep over that other side. Some sheer drops, in fact. You can't quite see Lochnagar anymore, but that is a Lochnagar, and the car park is at the far end of that. So we've done 5 Munros and we've got a big long walk back. So excuse my indulgence in the panorama here, but the view was just amazing. Apart from the wind, couldn't have picked a better day for getting up there. Conditions were ideal and we thoroughly enjoyed it. Navigation up in these hills was never a problem. It's a well defined path. As you can see, there was no cloud. There's the path winding ahead in front of it. It's a long and winding road, let me tell you. So this is looking back at Broad Cairn and that path, which I've very often heard that these type of paths being described as motorways. So we've now hit the banks of Loch Muich. We're high above them, and we can see there that there's the alternative descent from Lochnagar should you not wish to do the whole of the circuit. And next time I'm up there, I certainly will be going that route. Love the little waterfall there. So there's a little bunch of trees there down by the water, and with a hidden gem in beside it. So ahead there is Mount Keene at 939 metres. Down there the Royal Lodge of Glas Alt Shiel, which was really liked by Queen Victoria and Prince Charles. That's Lochnagar up there, and we're looking back at the circuit. This is the last clip of video, and we're about to zoom in on the much wanted car park. I reckon it was about a 30k walk. It was totally knackered that night, but as you can see by the day we had, it was worth every second of it, every second of the pain. So thanks for watching. See you in the next director's cut.